Hey guys, and welcome back to the second episode of my channel. Today we're going to be talking about the 11 plus, tips to pass it, and grammar schools. As well as that, we are going to be looking at the school system in UK. The course outline is school systems in UK, what you need to focus on, problems you may face, is it difficult, and tips. Now, the types of schools in the UK are state schools, private schools, and grammar schools. Now, the school systems in the UK are the state schools, independent schools, and the grammar schools. The state schools and grammar schools are both managed by the government, whereas the independent school is managed privately. Now, each of these selection processes is different. For the state school, you get places allocated based on your catchment area or home address. For the independent school, you need to pass the entrance exams. And for grammar schools, you need to go through highly competitive selection processes, otherwise known as exams. For the grammar school and state school, the cost of education is free. But for the independent schools, it's paid. You need to pay. And it's usually extremely expensive, although you may have a chance to get a scholarship. As well as this, there are three types of grammar schools: selective grammar schools, super selective grammar schools, and non-selective grammar schools. Now, super selective schools are the schools that pick the top performers. Here, students can apply outside of their home area, which means out of catchment. Now, with non-selective grammar schools, compared to the super selective grammar schools, they are less competitive, but they are still extremely competitive, as most of their students are drawn from close in their catchment or geographical location. Now, with selective grammar schools, these schools select both the top performers who apply for their schools, as well as students who apply from within catchment. Now, there are two types of grammar school exams. There is the GL, or Granada Learning, and the CEM, the Centre for Evaluation and Monitoring. GL mainly focuses on verbal and non-verbal reasoning, as well as maths and English. The CEM mainly focuses on numerical reasoning and verbal and non-verbal reasoning. Now, some of the problems you may face are concentration deviation, time consumption, nervousness, and hard questions. With concentration deviation, if your friends are in the exam hall, they may distract you, or else you might get distracted by something moving. Now, when this happens, don't look at them. Your entire focus should be on that exam paper and that exam paper only. Time consumption. If there's a hard question which may take you a lot of time, put a flag or a star around it to remind you to come back to it later when you finish the question. This way, you know which questions you have missed out, and you get to do all the other questions first before moving back. Nervousness. Now, in the exam, you may feel a bit nervous, or have a slight panic attack. When this happens, calm yourself down, take a small break, and breathe in and out. Now, with hard questions, as I said before, for time consumption, put a marker around it and leave it until the end. Is it difficult? Now, the 11 Plus is one of the most difficult exams you will face at the age of 11. And initially, if you attempt the 11 Plus without studying hard, you may get low marks. Now, to succeed in the 11 Plus, you will need these 3 things: a systematic approach, lots of hard work, and practice. Practice makes a man perfect. And lots of hard work will ensure that you are prepared for the exam. Now, tips to succeed in the 11 Plus. Focus on your studies and don't let anything distract you when writing the exam, as I said before. Now, before going into the actual 11 Plus exam, go through a few mock exams first, so you can get an idea of the formats and some of the styles of questions. Now, there are a few schools that let you do mock exams, so you have an idea. Persevere. Make sure that if you're having a bad time, just try again until you get it. If you find a hard question, leave it until the end. Put a mark to remind you, like a flag or a star. Now, I've already said this. Comprehension labelling. If there's a question where there's a comprehension, like a kind of story, when you read through it the first time, put a marker around anything you think is important, such as dates, names of characters, milestones, etc. Make sure to keep an eye on how much time you've spent. Now, don't take in digital watches that can beep or have calculators in, as these aren't allowed. And finally, be cool and don't panic. Now, if you liked this video, please subscribe to my channel and like and subscribe.